Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It is now 1 o'clock, so I think we are going to go ahead and get things kicked off here. Top of the screen. Hmm. Okay. So welcome. Oh, sorry, my deck there was a little glitchy. So welcome to the 2024 CCSQ Data and Analytics Spring or Fall Data Camp. My name is Julie Amney. I'm going to be facilitating our event over the next 2 days. The Fall Data Camp is an event that will be filled with multiple sessions designed to educate those in our community and others interested in data and analytics. I'm going to kick things off first with a video, which you just saw where my deck wanted to move ahead without me, to give us some more information about our event over the next couple days. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and review our agenda.
Welcome everyone to the 2024 Fall Data Camp, a multi-session, multi-day event focused on educating the CCSQ Data and Analytics user community. During this data camp, we will be exploring sessions on the SAS-FIA transition, Databricks, the SAS2Pi code conversion tool, and an overview into the data and analytics roadmap. Before we get started, let's review some logistical information about the event and our sessions. There is a portal page solely dedicated to this event, where you can find the schedule for both days and the session summaries. You may access this page within your meeting invite. We are also recording every session and will make the recording and session materials available in Portal shortly after the event. A Q&A will be held at the end of each session. To submit a question for these Q&As, use the Zoom chat feature. We ask that you stay on mute to minimize background noise and keep us on schedule. Also, please refrain from sharing your video camera to reduce distractions. Lastly, time permitting, short breaks will be held between sessions, right after the Q&As. There is one Zoom link for the entire event, allowing you to be able to jump in and out in order to best accommodate your schedule. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for the agenda.
Oh. Sorry about that. My deck is really finicky today. Okay, so next going over today's agenda. So to kick things off, we have the CCSQ DNA Leadership Introduction and what's ahead. And then that's going to be from 1 to 1:50 p.m. And then we have some built-in breaks today to allow us a little bit of transition time and allow our our attendees to go ahead, and our presenters as well, to go ahead and get what they need in between our sessions. And to get materials ready for that next session. So then next at 2 o'clock, we have Introduction to Databricks, and that'll be from 2 to 2:50. Our third session today is Data Analytics with Databricks AI BI, and that's from 3 to 3:50. Our fourth session today is CCSQ QuickSight ML Insights. That's from 4 to 4:25. And then finally, rounding out our day today is going to be a fast overview from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. And that will be our final session for day one. Just a reminder for all of our sessions to keep in mind, some of those are going to have notebooks involved for demos, and we will be dropping those links as we need them in the Zoom chat, so you have those as well. And then, as our video said, all materials are going to be made available in the CCSQ DNA portal following our event. So the demos, the recordings, the where needed, the presentation slides, because some of our demos obviously won't be very slide heavy, but all of those materials will be made available to you after the conclusion of our data camp. So then moving over to day two, for tomorrow's agenda, we're going to kick things off with the CDR Medicare claim session from 1 to 1:50. Again, we're going to have those built-in breaks. Our next session is going to be SAS to Python conversion, introduction to SAS to PyTool. That's going to be 2 to 2:50. Our third session of day two is going to be introduction to data best practices from 3 to 3:50. Our next session will be Object-Oriented Programming 101 from 4 to 4:50. And then finally, we'll be rounding out, well, technically not a separate session, it's going to kind of be tucked in the tail end of that last session. We're going to have some closing remarks from Ken Howard for rounding out our data camp, and that'll be from 4:50 to 5 o'clock on our last day. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with our leadership introduction and what's ahead for our first session today. Just a note there, while our video did note that there's Q&A for each of these sessions, and you'll be doing those in the Zoom chat feature. This session, because it's our very first one, it's more of an introduction, and there's going to be multiple session speakers giving more of an overview. We will not have a Q&A portion, but if any questions do arise, please do put them in the Zoom chat, and we'll be sure to reach out to our speakers to who that question needs to go to and get those addressed where needed. So just wanted to make that quick note here. So with that, our first session speaker today is Ken Howard, the Director of Division of Quality Systems Governance, Engineering, and Development within CMS. So I'm going to be passing it over to Ken now for our next session.
Welcome and good afternoon, all. Data camp's always an exciting time. I hope you get a lot of information, a lot of education out of the next 2 days. If you can move to the next slide, please. Well, I think the introductions can go. My team lead for data and analytics is Danielle McGrath. Many of you interact with her on a fairly regular basis. If not, you should. She can provide a lot of information, coordination, and address any needs, concerns, or directions that you all feel you're working in, and help guide us as well into the future and any changes we need to consider as part of our analytics environment. As introduction to various team leads, Miriam and Mohammed are directors for our contractor support. If you can go next slide, please. In addition, our team leads, Jason, Steph, and Caitlin, and various support teams for our data and analytics contractual work. Next slide, please. So again, welcome. I'm always excited for Data Camp. They always get very positive feedback, and we encourage that any feedback that you may have, positive or constructive, and for what you're looking for out of these events. They're meant to educate our community on specific technologies, standards, expectations, all the above. Anything that you all feel needs to change, get more value for you, please give us that feedback. It's an important aspect of these events. Next slide, please. So some important philosophical and direction statements. Many of you who have attended these have been in QualityNet conference for the past couple of years and other events that we've held, the monthly town halls and whatnot. We've had a common theme going, and it's called Come to the Data. You've seen it in many communication forums. And what does this mean to you, right? The CDR enterprise, where we're going and adapting, where we're going on roadmaps, building better partnerships with our business programs and their support vendors, as many are on this call, is something we want to improve. And SaaS via decommissioning, everybody is almost interested in what that is and where it's going and what it means to you with going forward. Well, I hope to clarify these things for you. If we can go next slide, please. So we're going to, again, focus on tools in the toolbox with how can we expand the analytic capabilities of our environment. There are several tools available to the community. And when I say that, it means within our security boundary, within our environment for usage. So there's no additional ATOs or effort. You can use these tools to meet your contractual deliverables or your own program necessity. These are available to us for the entire community. We are focusing on skill sets necessary for moving forward with the future educational criteria, right? Many people come out of college, no Python, no R, depending on their area of expertise, no functionality or tools that we are moving towards. less off the legacy environment that we've supported for the last decade or more. So that'll be something to discuss. And peer collaboration, something we're going to really focus on in the next 3 to 6 months, is the establishment of more governance, community-based governance, right? Involving all the people and more on this phone call in the direction of our analytics medium, right? To kind of work as a team to figure out what works best for the majority of our community to make sure we're moving in the right direction to support CCSQ's goals and missions. So look for more information on this and participation in some types of governance or councils that we're going to set up. I think there'll be a lot of excitement around this as we move forward with it. Next slide. Right. So Databricks, what this is, right? So if you haven't heard of Databricks, you need to hear Databricks, right? So by all means, look into this functionality. This is our target architecture, the current tool in our toolbox that we're trying to move most of our community to. Again, you saw on a previous slide, there are several tools to choose from based on your need. But the use of Databricks is something that is very scalable in our environment, right? It's not just a single way of solving a problem. It has thousands of Python libraries. It has thousands of R libraries for your specific analytic needs, right? Everyone's deliverable in analytics are varied across all our major program areas. So what you need to do, there's a lot of variability in how you can achieve it with this particular tool space. We're providing educational, right, and opportunities for you to explore this platform and migrate to it. So any questions, any information that you need around this, ask questions. We want to hear from you. We want to see how you're applying it. We've had a large success around this framework thus far. We've had probably more than 45% of our community move from SaaS to the Databricks environment without any incentive. They just self migrated to it to get values out of it. And we got a lot of positive feedback on that movement. The open source capabilities, obviously, it's less monolithic in its architecture. It's more scalable to what we need to do from our own analytics. And it gets us to a model that I hope to support going forward, which is personal compute, right? So any individual doing analytics cannot impact another individual or organization in what analytics are doing. What that means is, with current architectures, if one person writes bad code or there's an issue with the architecture, that can impact the entire community. This will not do that. So this would be an individual writing bad code, a huge select, whatever, will only impact themselves. The rest of the community, that's our target architecture. We hope to get to that in architectural stack, which is coming very, very soon. We do organizational based clusters today. We're and in the near future going to be moving towards individual clusters. Which means they scale to your individual analytic needs. Collaboration integration, we hope to grow our peering. We hope to grow our educational and training materials to help not only us help you in moving towards these technologies, but you help each other, right? There's best practices and things that you all discover in your work. Building a peering community is something we see a lot of value in. And also lets us become aware of the actual work that you're doing so we can prepare and meet your programmatic priorities and deliverable dates and any impacts that we may currently be unaware of. It'll help educate us as well. Machine learning, again, there's thousands of libraries I mentioned, individual capabilities. So you all can add that to your analytic pipelines is out there. It's available. So we want to make sure that we're exploring these with you and that we're providing support necessary for you to bring these new cutting edge tools and technologies and libraries to your analytic needs. Lakehouse architecture, as you all know, we've gone very far with our data architecture and we're continuing to move so. So moving to Databricks gave us a capability of setting up Lakehouse and making data get less and less centric and more distributed in the way we support it, right? Scalability, right? We don't have to shut down clusters to scale. We can scale up as we need here. it gives us that capabilities to provide the data and make it more and more reliable to our community. And we're growing data. We got more than a petabyte sitting out in our CDR from what you all work from. We hope that this is going to help alleviate a lot of the bottlenecks with analytics and performance moving forward. Again, your feedback is necessary so we can always measure and adapt to the new baseline for what performance means to us. It is ever changing. Next slide, please. So Unity Catalog is kind of a large honorable mention. So many new features that you will hear about over the next 2 days and functionality of Databricks. This is a product part of Databricks. It's central for us enabling future functionality. As you see on here, it allows us to start getting to lineage. It starts letting us get to enabling users, process flows, and any dependencies of the data of those libraries that I mentioned, and getting to the data, understanding the data, exploring the data. Right. So this allows us to have a stronger security framework. We know who and how people are accessing our data going forward. This will be a key feature you'll probably hear more about. It's more behind the scenes, but it enables so much in our user-facing portal and on our data clusters as they're available to you all. Next slide, please. So here we're moving to what this is enabling us and going with the data lake architecture is to move to some more, some modern standards with the application of software. What does this mean to you? Is ACID transactions, right? It gives us more support for performance for merge and join capabilities, which, is a majority of what traditional analytics we do out there. It allows multiple edits, et cetera, within the tools. It allows moment in time analytics, right? You don't have to save 500 copies of a query. It allows you to do moment in time kind of queries of a database. Optimization, partitioning, et cetera, right? So from your analytic needs, this is moving us in a very positive direction with this architecture. Again, the success or failure is based on your usage of these tools and technologies. We want to hear from you on the success and our failures of these tools. Next slide, please. So again, modern standards, right? There is so much. We settled on Parquet and CSV files in the past as a standard data format. We're moving forward on to not only those formats, but a more standard, modern standardized format. As you see, it supports Uniform, supports Data Lake, Iceberg, Hudi, all modern standards from data structures and standards from our data lake perspective. This is important for us to move forward to provide new and advanced functionality to the community. This will allow us to get compatibility between all the tools going forward, right? So no more ETLs to get it in a format to move it to another analytics tool or environment. It allows us to be more compatible across platforms. Going to open data structures, again, skill sets should be more industry standard with operating with this, less legacy based. And again, improving our metadata layer, getting more understanding of what the data is, how it's used within our environment, and educating the community on what may or may not be valuable to them, right? Again, exploration of data is something most people don't know certain data sets exist unless someone else happens to manage it. This will help build our understanding of the actual data we have within our environment, how you can request access to that data and explore the data once approved. Next slide, please. So this is something that everybody should pay attention to. So much of our functionality and training content, education, is going to be on our data analytics portal. We are expanding self-service capabilities, just something we're driving the teams towards. So less service tickets, more self-service within this portal framework. You will be able to share data sets. So you do some type of analytics and want to share it with a team member or with other teams, as it commonly happens. There's no longer opening a ticket. There will be a click share and share with X. That is going to be coming up. That both teams will be able to remove those shares if it becomes irrelevant. We'll be able to update those to read and write capabilities in the future, a number of self-service capabilities, archiving, retrieval, deleted files, all this kind of self-service that you have to open up tickets and wait for that to be administratively restored will be self-service in the near future within the portal framework. Again, you'll have your own portfolio. You'll be able to manage your cluster types. You'll be able to manage the data sharing and accessibility and archiving, right? Move it to archive, take it out of archive. Things like that are what we're looking to do. So there's less manual administrative support of this and complete self-service and autonomy with each one of you. Next slide, please. Again, as I just touched on, all the capabilities within self-service, these are all things we're trying to target for the near future. I would, hopefully within the next 6 months or so, for us to have a bulk of this operational capability within the environment. You'll see it come in iteratively. Certain functionality will come shorter, like data sharing, whereas archival will come probably at a little bit later than 6 months. But we're looking at providing more and more of these features and functionality. If there's certain functionality you're looking for, we solicit the community for that functionality. If there's something that isn't working quite the way you think it should, that feedback is critical for us. We take it sincerely. We exist for this community, and the value of it we want to increase based on this community's feedback. Next slide, please. So as I touched on already, Databricks cluster capabilities, we're going to something to come. We already have a manual capability of expanding clusters today from a shared services perspective. No longer a cluster of one size fits all for everyone. So if you're hitting memory limitations or some type of issues, there's a way for you to get those clusters increased based on your job types and boundaries that we currently have set. Again, this will be a self-service kind of operation, is how you can submit to get a cluster reallocation. There'll, of course, be measurements and usage statistics and things like that we want to show you are using the right cluster for the right type of jobs with it. External connection based on our mainly our lines of business, but there will be other use cases about bring your own analytics, third-party analytics tools by other FSMA boundaries, or bring your own data right from the various ADOs or other sources that we're going to be making available as an extension of the CDR. These are all capabilities we're hoping to extend through self-service. Next slide, please. So this is probably a big topic that everyone is paying attention to. If you have not heard, the CCSQ first, but all of CMS is looking at alternatives to SAS going forward. SAS has, excuse me, of course, get a phone call in the middle of this. SAS has identified end of life on most of their products that CMS uses. The version of SAS that we use, SAS via 3.5, originally was going end of life in January of 26. So we decided we are going to go end of support December of 25. So that is still CCSQ's goal. We are turning off SAS via at the end of December of next year. You should be planning, if you have not already, I know I have my team reaching out to all users of the CDR to work on the details of what success looks like to migrate to an alternate platform, i.e. Databricks for us, by that date. Do not wait till next year to start now, right? So I can't say that urgently enough. There will not be an extension. There is no plans to fund an extension. I want to be very clear with that, that if you wait to the last minute, the impact will be solely yours. If you have contractual issues, reach out to your core, have your core engage with us. If you have technical questions, reach out to us. We will be more than happy to sit down and figure out if there's a technical or logistical challenge that we have to help you solve. We want to engage with you. We want to find out your unique need for that migration purpose. So by all means, be proactive, reach out to us for this. I'm pretty sure we've engaged at least an attempt to communicate with everyone that currently uses the CDR. Other teams around the agency are also looking to alternatives. CCW and IDR being the major users of SAS as opposed to CCSQ. They are also looking at alternate tools for SAS. As most of you know, the IDR has already implemented Snowflake as an alternate tool to SAS VIA. So the agency itself is moving towards that direction to more modern open source standards, Python, R, etc., in support of our analytics needs. It is the trend, it is the direction that the agency is going to. The dates vary based on the end of life of products, not on when the other organizations like OADA, like OIT are actually moving to it. That is something that I can't commit for them. They are looking at it. I don't know that they're waiting to the last day to move off of those products. So if you use their products, you need to engage with them to figure out when their drop dead date is for the end of life of those products. I think I saw a comment or question come up about SAS Studio. So that is the desktop version of SAS, probably falls into the time frame of January of 28. Again, whether it's funded or not is a whole different discussion. You need to reach out to us to talk to that. But end of support of that product is January of 28, right? Typically, the only people that would be permitted to proceed down that path will be CMS feds. Their laptops, their computers are within our FSMA boundary. SAS Studio would export data to a third-party environment in which to do analytics. That will not be permitted. Something I skipped over earlier, I'll follow up at the end of this, but to come to the data is a prime aspect of that rule, that engagement, is that data will not be extracted from our environment unless accepted. We need to evaluate everyone on a case by case. But as you see, there's timetables are very rough order. They are subject to change, but the agency is moving away from SAS as a whole and moving towards other more neutral products going forward. Next slide, please. So Training Hub, again, look at our data and analytics portal for more and more training. We are tailoring that for our community. As we learn more, we will post recommended training. We will post standards and educational material. We'll have knowledge bases, FAQs, will all continually be developed. So please go there, check often. And if something's missing that you think is of value, let us know. We will see what we can do to add content to better educate our community on it. We plan to have more office hours to support our community. And that's why it's important to reach out. Office hours are typically tailored for organizations. We can make them broader or smaller as needed. Town halls monthly, engage with those. You learn a lot of ongoing information at those town halls. If not a part, reach out to the people on this call, and we will make sure we get you the information to attend those town halls. And data camps, of course, tailor them to your needs, making sure it's important. But to come to the data philosophy, I kind of glazed over that earlier unintentionally. So that means all analytic work within CCSQ is being done within our CMS FSMA boundary, right? Our security boundary. That is for multiple reasons. One is less likelihood of data breaches and data leak, right? So security boundary is enforced for a reason. As if you read any number of the articles, there's been numerous data breaches and stuff within healthcare as a whole, right? So in order for us to better manage that, the less data that goes out of our environment, the better. Even if it's not PII, it's still controlled data to CMS. It is not a public use file. It is still controlled data. You must be a direct vendor or have a direct business reason to get the data. There must be an agreement signed in order for you to get access and use the data. That does not mean you get to take it out to the third world to use it. It's for a contractual purpose. If you have issues with this, or you find that there is a limit to you being successful for your contractual deliverable, talk to your core, have the core bring it to us. We will more than happy work with you all to see what right looks like within this philosophy. There's not a one size fits all. We recognize that, and we want to work with you to get to that point. So with come to the data, it also gives us multiple things we do not have insight to today. Transparency. We get to see what data is used, how often the data is used, what the data is used for. Right? The complexity, what joins, what everything that is being done with this data, it lets us as a program educate us on what we need to improve to make those outcomes better. It's not just based on an end deliverable. We basically see how the cake's being made, and we want to know if we want the cake made again based on that. Just because we get a PDF doesn't mean it wasn't difficult and the amount of time invested isn't worth the deliverable. This will help educate CMS, our federal program leads, and sponsor in order to see if this is something we wish to continue. Does it add value to other sources? Is there more growth that we can do to improve the programs themselves? In this, that transparency layer is critical, and Come to the Data enables that transparency layer. Third is we know where the data is at all times for all vendors. We have constant contractual end dates, as everybody knows. There's overturn of vendors. Vendor A becomes vendor B, et cetera, et cetera. And the data, we're usually scrambling to make sure that everybody has the legacy data, what was done previously. This keeps it all in one spot, that we're able to keep the data under wraps so we can, as a business component, provide this functionality continuously, and we don't have to worry about what data is missing from what various contractual stuff. So again, from a CMS perspective, this gives us the one place that we guarantee we have transparency, security, and accountability to the data that we're responsible for. And if there's any questions around this, again, I'm happy to talk in more detail. That is the gist of Come to the Data. It's an important philosophical element that we're now stringently enforcing. So again, if you think you have an exception, you think you have something that we need to talk about, engage with our teams so we can have that conversation with you and your course. Next slide, please. And I thought that's why I added it in there. So I'm going to pass the baton. If there isn't any questions I need to answer, you're going to wait to the end, Julia?
So we don't have a Q&A portion for this one because
Okay.
we have so many other POs who are giving their overviews, but I did make a note of any questions that are being asked on our note there, so we can make sure to get them to whoever needs them. So the one you already addressed, I also made a note of just so we could publish it in case anyone else had the same question. So I will keep track of those as we go.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'd like to introduce Danielle McGrath, my data and analyst lead, and have fun, Danielle. And thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fall Data Camp. Next slide, please, Julia. Okay, so I will be discussing the SAS transition. I know that this has been a topic of conversation for quite some time, so we wanted to do a quick pulse check and an update on where we are. So this is our timeline and our plan. This hasn't changed a whole lot from the last time it was presented, but as of now, we are still not supporting any new users coming to SAS Viya. If there is a off chance that there is a use case, we will review that case by case. The end of life support is still, or I'm sorry, the end date for SAS support is going to be 12/31/25. That hasn't changed, as Ken mentioned. For 2024, here are the high-level end user transition offerings that we have been providing. So we've been doing one-on-one meetings, targeted office hours, and a ton of educational sessions, town halls, and data camps. And we have implemented a tool called Databricks Assistant, which will be, I believe, reviewed later on today. For Q1 through Q3 of 2025, we'll continue these offerings. We also have a new tool that's going to be provided, that is SAS to Pi. That will support the code conversion for our user community, and I believe that's also a session today or maybe tomorrow. Julia, you can correct me there. We'll continue our office hours and town halls and other migration support sessions, of course. And then we will be working with organizations to remove the HARP role for users who are no longer using the tool. Q4 of 25, we will begin our preparation to sunset SAS, and as of December 31st, 2025, we'll be shutting it down. So SAS will be gone so long into the wind. Next slide, please. 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 Next slide, Okay, so just a re-review of our commitment. We are in this together. I know that that has been communicated multiple times, but we really are. We're here to help. We know it's tough and change is hard, but if there's anything that you need, please feel free to reach out. We will help to the best of our ability. And we really do appreciate everybody's hard work getting to this point. So again, your feedback is welcomed and appreciated. So if you have any topics that you think would be beneficial to yourself, to the community, please feel free to reach out and provide those to our team. We're always open to hearing exactly what is needed for our community. We want to make everybody successful. So without that feedback, we really can't do that. Same goes for data camps, any content sessions that are needed. And then, of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our team. You can do that through the Service Center. They can open a ticket for you. You can reach out in the Service Center Slack channel. And we also have that community collaboration channel available for folks to reach out to other members of the community. It's a great collaboration hub. So please feel free to use that as well. Next slide, please. So here are some metrics regarding the SaaS transition. So as of today, 114 organizations have completed the migrations. That means they are no longer using SaaS. They are solely in Databricks or another tool to do their work. 110 organizations are in progress. And then it does include the IKEA state organizations. And great news, there are no organizations that haven't started the migration. So again, thank you so much for all of your support in getting there. We're really happy with that metric there. A little overview of all of the sessions and items that we have hosted during this transition. So we've had 70 use case discovery meetings, 20 office hour sessions. The team has provided 54 notebooks that include reusable code resources, so that number will grow after this data camp, of course. And then we have Databricks Assistant, which was implemented in Q3 of 24. And then, as mentioned earlier, SaaS to Pi will be available very soon. Next slide, please. And I think this is my last slide. These are just some resources for the community to use. These are all located in our CCSQ Data and Analytics portal. We have a ton of trainings for Databricks, different resources, recordings of our past town halls and office hours and data camps for you to use. I believe all of the notebook links are out there as well. A lot of FAQs. And then I just wanted to mention one more time, we have that CCSQ Data and Analytics Slack channel. It's our community collaboration forum. So please reach out in there. I'm sure that if you're running into issues or having a struggle, the community would be willing to help because we're all going through this together. So keep that in mind. And I don't think I have any more slides, Julia. Is that correct?
Yep, that's all of them.
Okay, awesome. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And thank you again for all of your support to this point. Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle. Okay, so with that, we are going to be passing things over next to Miriam to give us more information on CCSQ DNA user services.
Hello, yes, if you could go to the next slide, please. Perfect, thank you. So we're going to recap what the user services team has accomplished over the past 6 months, roughly. So far, we've moved over roughly 90% of the content from Confluence into the DNA portal. I think the only parts that are remaining are the data catalog and the data contributor page. Otherwise, everything else has been migrated over. The purpose of this is to provide that central location for access to tools and resources to help facilitate with your day-to-day work. Additionally, we've built out new resource support material. It's been touched on a couple times, but the SaaS via transition resources page was one of our bigger ones to help support the SaaS to Databricks migration effort. That includes all of the Q&A that's been asked in the use case meetings. It also includes links to the office hour sessions that have been held so far. along with some additional links to data camp demos, town hall demos, resources that can really help with the migration effort. We've also migrated all of the past town hall and data camp content from Confluence. That's now available in Portal, and you can see that in the past events section. Additionally, we are providing regular announcement and updates for critical communications out to the community. We want to make sure that you have the latest information. We want to notify you of any kind of event that might be upcoming or any kind of changes that might impact you. So check out the latest news and events section in the DNA portal for updates there. And then additionally, this was touched on a bit too in the earlier slide, but hosting the SAS via office hours sessions. We've posted 20 so far. All that content, the recordings are all out in the DNA portal. So if you haven't been able to attend a specific one that you wanted to, those recordings and the material we used are published out to the portal. Next slide. And so what we have coming up next is we're going to continue to provide the SAS training and office hours. We will be introducing some new session types over the next 3 months or so to help facilitate and make sure that we're providing training and resources that will help facilitate with the SAS to Databricks migration. So keep an eye out for those. They're going to be posted out to the DNA portal pretty soon, over the next maybe week. We also are working towards establishing that community repository for all the notebooks and code blocks that we've used in the past for town halls and data camps, any kind of demos that we've done. This does include the office hour material as well. Our first phase is going to be the data camp code that was used in the past 2 data camps, I believe. And we're targeting this for Q1 of 2025 to make that available. We also are looking into ways to improve our overall process to enhance your overall experience. We want to make sure that we're providing quality service. So we are looking into what we can do to improve that for you. This has been said several times, but those survey results that we post out and you guys reply back to are critical for us to be able to continue providing these enhancements and making sure that we're making improvements that are actually going to be beneficial to your overall experience. And then lastly, just some helpful links to help for quick access. So the SAS training and resources page, the training hub overall, where you can access Databricks, SAS via QuickSight portal training documentation. The past events page, as I mentioned, that's got all of our town hall and data camp and office hour content out there. And then the news and events page, this is where you can see the latest announcements or any kind of upcoming event that you might need details on. And I believe with that, we're turning it over to the next speaker.
Sorry, couldn't unmute myself.
No,
Yep, so next we are going to be turning things over to Mohammed, so he can give us more information on CCSQ DNA Analytics Workspace. Thank you so much to Miriam, and at this point, I'll be turning things over to Mohammed.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Miriam. My name is Mohammed Bizri. I'm the Deputy Program Manager for the DNA contractor team. Stepping in for the Analytics Workspace team today. The Analytics Workspace team is the team on the CDR that administers the analytics platform and compute platform, namely Databricks and SAS. So if you go to the next slide, we're just kind of going to touch on what a journey it has been over the last year or so, a journey that has been in partnership with all of you. And for those of you that have been here the whole way, I know it's been quite the amount of change that has happened, quite a bit of growing pains, but I think we can all agree that where we are today is a much better place than where we first started. And where we're going tomorrow is going to take us to even greater heights. And so if you go to the next slide, please. We started quite a bit ago in this global compute platform, namely just having SAS Viya. We had, Ambari as our compute engine, and it was all tied to this concept of global compute. So everybody in the environment was sharing a pool of limited resources. We had job queues. There was quite the slow performance, and it was generally quite an outdated experience for everyone involved. Next slide. Then we had the release of Databricks notebooks at phase one in April of 2023. And that's when we introduced the concept of having a shared organizational compute. So starting to move away from this giant bucket for all CDR users and instead starting to segregate things into organizational compute. So now you share resources with only those in your organization. Your compute is scaled. So, you kick it off and then it scales down when you're not using it. It's very cost effective. And now we had Python, SQL, Scala languages supported. Next slide. Then following that, in February 2024, we decommissioned Ambari. And for those of you that were there, I know this was quite the busy time. But in doing so, we remediated quite a large number of security vulnerabilities. We increased the security posture of the CDR as a whole, and really more than that, this was really our first migration towards the ideal architecture of the CDR and getting us closer to Databricks compute. And so with this, we had the phase one of SAS to Databricks. We updated all of our macros, and we had SAS connecting directly to Databricks compute and away from Ambari for the first time. Next slide. Then that April, this just past April, we released the Databricks SQL Warehouse. And so that was our SAS to Databricks phase two. And this really took things to the next level. We had increased SAS to Databricks performance from what we initially had. And so things were much, much more performant coming from SAS. And more than that, we expanded the capabilities of Databricks as a whole, starting to have things like the SQL editor and SQL dashboards, functionalities and features that were much desired and requested for by the user community were now available at that time. Next slide. Just this past June, we released Databricks Assistant. So starting to get that AI coding support, starting to support the SAS to Databricks code conversion, really just that initial phase of Databricks Assistant and getting that AI support in the environment. Next slide. Also in June of 2024, we expanded our notebook capabilities to have R available to connect to the CDR data. And so now we had all of our languages supported in the environment: Python, R, Scala, SQL, really expanding the realm of possibilities. Next slide. And for those of you who have been keeping a close eye on all of the communications we're releasing recently, we had Databricks jobs clusters released just this October of 2024. And now this is really probably the biggest paradigm shift thus far. For those of you in the know, this is what gets us a step into the world of personal compute. So we started with this idea of global compute where everyone was in the same bucket. Then we made a bunch of little buckets for each organization to work with. And now we're getting down to the personalized compute cluster where you can go in and you can have a job cluster specified to your workflow. So every single job that you submit in Databricks can have its own compute cluster dedicated to it. You're not fighting anyone for resources, not even your own organization and not even your coworkers. You can customize these within the limits that we establish. You can assign your own libraries. You can choose what resources it has. It really takes us to that first step of personal compute and self-service in that personal compute. And so this takes me to the next slide, where I'm going to talk about what's coming next, a look to the future. Now that we've talked about where we started and where we've come from, Q1 2025, we're going to have the release of Unity Catalog Phase 1. And that phase is going to be the establishment of the meta store in the CDR as Unity Catalog. So currently it's Glue. We're going to go to Unity Catalog as our meta store. We're going to have the release of single user clusters as a part of that Unity Catalog release. And then, a much requested functionality having a connection to the IDR. Phase 1 of that will be released in Q1 of 2025 as well. Looking to the next quarter after that, we'll continue to expand our Unity Catalog functionality. So we'll release volumes. And then, of course, there are many other future considerations that are just waiting to be slated into the coming quarters, such as system tables, such as data lineage, fine-grained access controls, and of course, considering the uniform table format functionalities. Next slide. I just want to get a little bit more detailed what Q1 2025 is going to mean for you all. When we migrate to Unity Catalog Phase 1, that's going to have a significant impact to Databricks Assistant. All its capabilities are really going to be expanded. Databricks Assistant gets a lot of its utility out of having the metadata available in order to make all of its, suggestions and really contribute from an AI assistant perspective. And so once we have Unity Catalog serving as the CDR metastore, you're going to see that capability bumped up quite a bit. For awareness, QuickSight in the process is also being migrated to Databricks Compute. Single user clusters. So I just talked about how jobs clusters gets you one step towards that personal compute. This is the other foot, and we will have both feet in the personal compute world. We are going to single user clusters. So rather than having a cluster dedicated to every single organization, instead, each user will be able to spin up their own interactive cluster. So again, having self-service, customizable, personal interactive clusters for every user. We're going to be talking to you a lot more about this, what the best practices are. Now that we have jobs clusters in the environment, the emphasis is going to be much less on these interactive clusters, which have just been a stepping stone to get us where we are today. Really, the best practice is going to be using the interactive cluster for data exploration, with a limited set of data, and then using jobs clusters for your production runs. So, as we get further out, jobs clusters will be beefed up and the interactive clusters will be scaled down. And then, of course, at the end of this quarter, looking to have a library available in the CDR environment for connecting to the IDR, provided that you have the correct job codes in place. More information and documentation will be coming. And with that, I believe that's it for this team. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Mohammed. Okay, next we're going to be passing things over to Jason for more information on CCSQ DNA to data management.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Jason Minter here. I am a senior business analyst for eSimplicity, but also working to fill in as a product owner on the data management team right now. The data management team has been hard at work behind the scenes, improving the user experience within the CDR. The data management team supports a lot of work that the other teams have discussed and will be discussing over the next 2 days. So in the past year, we have continued migration of the CDR data from the legacy environment to the consolidated CDR Lakehouse environment. This improved maintainability and automation of resources leads to faster workflows, as well as change requests and facilities management. All of these changes will then ultimately result in faster resolution of help desk tickets, more streamlined processes, and enhanced user experience. The second bullet there, event-driven automation. We are working along with the other teams for centralizing everything within the portal to enable seamless self-service, making processes more automated and faster. Onboarding, which was previously manual, is now fully automated, which is ensuring efficient resource provisioning and smoother experiences. Next slide. So what's next for data management in Q1 2025? We are going to be continuing the migration work to the CDR Lakehouse environment. We still have a couple phases left of that to do that are getting planned out and getting completed. Be on the lookout within the portal and notifications for statuses of the phases and the planned and completed steps. Also, Unity Catalog. As Ken mentioned at the top of the call, the CDR aims to provide a unified, scalable solution for managing data governance across Databricks environments. While we are able to do this, leveraging UC is going to give us even more capability as moving forward. Such features include centralized data governance, fine-grained access control, and comprehensive data linkage tracking. Also, the last one on the list there, centralized data asset management in the portal. We're working to make the portal source of truth for data access permissions. Keep an eye out for more information through email and the portal as well on this effort as we move forward with that. Thank you. That is all for the data management team. I think next is Steph to discuss the portal team's work.
Yep, Jason, thank you so much. So let me, okay, thought my deck again was going to freeze on me. Okay, so next we're going to be passing things over to Steph for the CCSQ DNA portal update.
So hi, I'm Steph Green. I'm the new product owner for the portal team for the QDOS project. We can go to the next slide, please. So some of the accomplishments that directly impact you guys that portal has worked on is updating the UI a bit. So from its MVP state, from its first iteration to its second iteration, making it a bit more user-friendly. We've done some research as well about a community forum tool. So just kind of looking into different tools that would help you all as users communicate with each other and share knowledge. We've also collected some requirements for the Training Hub proof of concept with you guys as end users. So speaking with you all to improve on how Training Hub can be improved and be more user-friendly. Next slide, please. All right, and then so our roadmap for the first quarter of 2025 is releasing the community repository, which is a centralized location for sharing code blocks and notebooks. The other one is going to be the self-service capability for data sharing MVP. So this will be the first iteration of it, and it's going to allow organizations to share data through self-service capability and provide a record of what was shared with whom, as well as being able to remove access when it's no longer necessary. Then we're going to be working on Training Hub enhancements. So this will be making it a bit more functional and in preparation for Training Hub 2.0, which I will talk about in just a moment. And that's also how, when we were collecting information from you guys, also going to feed into the Training Hub 2.0. Last but not least, for the Q1 2025 roadmap is research and gathering requirements for ADO Autonomy to publish their own content. So this will help make sure that content is available to you guys as end users a lot quicker. At least that's the hope. So exploring ways that ADOs can basically publish their own content on portal and how it'll relate to the Training Hub 2.0 and getting like a level of effort for that of how to actually implement that work. Next slide, please. Cool. So then overall, further down on the roadmap in 2025, as I mentioned before, is Training Hub 2.0. So this will be implementing more user-friendly and functional version of Training Hub based off of user feedback, based off of requirements, while keeping in mind the future state that we would like to develop it to allow ADOs to publish their own content. And then self-service overall, We're going to be soliciting feedback from the community to figure out which features of self-service we need to prioritize. Some of the ones that we kind of had in mind was file management, external connection between bringing your own analytics and bringing your own data, as well as a few others. So we're going to be solidifying that and hopefully adding to that self-service capability so that you guys can get work done more efficiently and effectively. Cool.
Okay, thanks, Steph. So last today we have, oh no. There we go. Okay, last day we have Caitlin, who is going to be giving us updates on the CCSQ DNA data solutions. And I just want to make a note. I know that we already went through our break and we are running a bit over on this session. So please just stay here, stay present. And then there will be like a quick 2-minute transition once we wrap this session for me to pull up the deck for the next one. Okay, so Caitlin, with that, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you, Julia. And I promise to keep this brief and interesting. I'm Caitlin Myers. I'm a senior product owner on the CCSQ DNA Data Solutions team. We are responsible for running many of the ETL pipelines that bring data into the CDR, among some other things. Next slide, please. So some of the work that we've done over the last year includes bringing in some new data sets into the CDR. That includes MBISG from the CCW, also MCBS from the CCW, MedPAR data from NCH, and an expansion of the FDA drug refresh that brings in some of the NDC information, products and packages. So that previously only had like the current state of that NDC directory at the time the refresh was run. Earlier this year, we modified it so that we are now retaining historical information. So you've got a claim that you're looking at that has an NDC on it that's not currently part of the directory, maybe got removed ages ago. The historical tables you can now use to track down what that drug would have been. Next up, I think is my demo. Yes, a little show and tell. Could I take over the screen share, Julia? Great, thank you. All right, I am going to talk to you about a new data catalog tool that the team's been working really hard on. But first, I want to give you some context on why we're doing that. So this is the Confluence Data Catalog tool. You're probably already familiar with it, probably already familiar with some of the pain points in it. It's a vital resource for information about the data that's in the CDR. So if you're not coming here, you probably should. But it is imperfect. Some of the pain points we're aware of from our own experience, also from talking to many of you in past HCD studies or an earlier study that we did this year to explore possible solutions, include the fact that it is manually maintained. So it's really easy for stuff to get out of date here. All the information that you see is manually entered, including these files that are here, the descriptions, the schema names, all of it. Manually maintained. If there's an update that has to happen, it has to be done by hand, and someone has to remember to do it in the first place when there's a change. So as you can guess, that doesn't always happen as timely as it should. It is also difficult to navigate. You can't easily search across all the tabs. You have to know what you're looking, like know what page you're looking for in order to be able to find it. So like, for example, I'm looking for information about FDA. If I search here while I'm on the claims tab, I'm not finding anything. But I happen to know that that information lives under public data. So when I come over here and search for FDA, now all my results are coming up. So this is not ideal either. And last, in order to actually see the valuable information that's in here, you typically have to download files to your local machine. Because a lot of the information is stored in Excel files, which Confluence has a real hard time displaying. I open this up here and you see what I'm talking about. Like the tables are split up across multiple pages. You're losing a lot of the context for the information because you don't know what it's displaying besides. So yeah, just not great. We are working really hard on a solution. It's still a work in progress. Right now, we are
uh, anticipating a release in the spring of 2025. So still a lot of work to be done, but I'm excited to show you what we've got. So this is the tool we're implementing. It's an open source platform called Data Hub. We'll be referring to it though as the CDR Data Catalog tool, not to be confused with Unity Catalog. Most of the content is not in place here, and many of the features that will be beneficial are not in use yet. So just use your imagination a little bit to fill in some blanks, but I hope this will get you a sense of what's to come. I'll keep this demo brief and focus just on some of those pain points that I just raised. So one of them was the navigability. I'm going to search for FDA just like I did before, and boom, I've already got some of my tables here. Let's click in on this one and talk about the manual updates. So all the information here in the field column, the column name, the data type, it's nullable. This information is stored in the CDR metastore, and the data catalog tool ingests information from there. So as there are changes and our ingestion process is run, that information is being gathered and brought into the data catalog tool automatically. It is not on somebody to remember to do that. So if a new column shows up or something like that, a new table shows up, that will be automatically registered and showing up here in the data catalog tool. The descriptions, on the other hand, those do have to be manually maintained, but they are displayed right here in context, so you don't have to download anything in order to find the information that you're looking for. If I come into the documentation tab, this shows me information about the table itself. Again, this is also manually provided, but still it's right there in context. There's also a place to include relevant links. In this case, the FDA drug package information, it comes from that National Drug Code directory, and there's a link to that information page. So rather than like bringing in a ton of information about that table directly into the data catalog tool, we can link out to useful resources elsewhere, and people can find all the context that they want from those places. There are plenty of other nifty features in this tool that I'm not going to cover today. But again, I hope this gives you an idea of what to expect and that you're as excited as we are. And I look forward to sharing more information as we get closer to release. Back to you, Julia.
Thank you so much. So with that, I'm going to close out session one. So thank you so much to all of our session one speakers, all of our attendees so far who have been logging on. So I'm going to go ahead and end this recording so we can pop up the next recording for our next session.